whenever I see the signs for the Mega Millions or the Powerball jackpot and I see those large numbers, the thought comes to my mind. What would I do with all of that money? Then I let my mind wander for a little bit and make a long laundry list of everything that I would do with that money. Well, if you have ever thought about what would happen in your life if you won the Powerball or the Mega Millions, today's passage is for you. It comes from Luke 12:13 through 21. In this parable, Jesus tells us a story about a man who basically came into a large amount of money. And when it happened, he decided to keep all of that money for himself and invest in his own kingdom, in his own house, for what he wanted to do. And as a result, we read that his soul was required of him. He lost his life. Then in verse 21, Jesus says this: "This is how it will be with whoever stores up things for themselves, but is not rich toward God." When we think about winning the jackpot, we often ask the question, what would I do with the money? The better question to be asking according to this parable is, who is the treasure for? If it is ultimately for God's glory, he would get to say where it goes and what happens to it. But if it's for us, we will only think about ourselves as well. If you remember our passage yesterday, Jesus talked about if you've been faithful with a little, you will be faithful with much. If you haven't been faithful with a little, you won't be faithful with much. Similarly, when we look at earthly wealth, if we are not being faithful with the small amount that God has given to us now, we will not be able to be faithful with the large amounts he could give us later. As a result, let's be faithful and remember, regardless of the size of the treasure we have right now, we need to be giving it back to God for his kingdom and his glory. Because I want it to be said of myself that I want to be rich towards God instead of rich towards myself.